My mother gave us a choice. Go with her to the Knight estate, where we could attend the same elite high school as the Knight heir, but would have to stay in the country for college, or stay in our hometown, finish school here, and be sent to study abroad. My sister Maya didn't hesitate. Mom, I want to go with you. To the Knights. A pleased smile spread across our mother's face before she turned to me. Your sister has chosen. As the older one, you should let her have her way. I'll send you abroad after you graduate. That way, I'll have fulfilled my duty to both of you. Watching Maya cling to our mother's arm, her face glowing with anticipation, I knew. She had been reborn too. Too bad for her. Gareth Knight would never fall for her. Alara, the Knights need me back, so your sister and I are leaving today. Take care of yourself. After packing her bags, my mother left with Maya, just like that. A stark contrast to my first life, where she'd stayed for 10 excruciating days, trying to convince Maya to come with her. In that life, when our mother laid out the two choices, Maya had also been quick to decide, but she had chosen to study abroad. After my parents divorced, I was sent to live with my father. For 10 years, my mother never visited, not once, but I thought of her every single day. It wasn't until my father passed away and the police brought me to her that I had a mother again. So when Maya chose to go abroad, I was ecstatic. It meant I could finally be with my mother, but my mother had wanted Maya. She spent those 10 days relentlessly trying to change her mind, but Maya was convinced the grass was greener overseas and wouldn't budge. So I was the one who went with my mother to the Knight estate, and there, I met Gareth. He was breathtakingly handsome, with a cool, aristocratic air and a brilliant mind. He was the Prince Charming of every girl in school. I couldn't help but fall for him. I knew we were worlds apart, so I buried my feelings deep inside, until the night of our high school graduation. After a party, Gareth, flushed with alcohol, cornered me in the basement. Alara, he whispered, his voice intense. Come abroad with me. I forced myself to look away. I can't afford it. A slow smile spread across his face, lighting up the dim room. I'll pay for you. In that single moment, I realized the boy I had secretly loved for 3 years loved me back. The happiness was overwhelming. I rushed to tell my mother the news, my heart soaring. Her response was a sharp slap across my face. Absolutely not. You gave up the right to go abroad when you chose to come here. The money I've saved is for Maya's education. I cupped my stinging cheek. But Gareth said I wouldn't have to pay. He's covering my tuition. She scoffed, her eyes raking over me with contempt. Have you no shame? Seducing him for his money? Have you forgotten your place? He's a knight. You're the help's daughter. A boy like that might find you amusing for a while, but when he gets bored and dumps you, who do you think will have to clean up the mess? Forget about going abroad. If you disobey me, you will never call me mother again. And stay away from him. Don't ruin my job. Starved of a mother's love my whole life, the threat of losing her again terrified me. Numb with grief, I turned Gareth down, but he was resolute. Distance doesn't matter, he told me solemnly. I can afford the plane tickets. We started a long-distance relationship in college. He flew back to see me every month, and the sweetness of his love filled me with hope for our future. When my mother found out, she went behind my back and asked Gareth to look after Maya, who was studying in the same country. Gareth, unaware of our family's twisted dynamic, naively took on the role of a protective future brother-in-law. Then, one day during my senior year, I received a text from Maya. It was a picture. She was topless, her arms wrapped around Gareth's neck as they lay in a hotel bed. He's with me now, Alara. Stop bothering him. After 3 years together, I knew Gareth would never betray me. My first thought was that he'd been set up. Blinded by rage, I called Maya. I never saw the truck. As my soul drifted from my body, I heard my mother's voice, clear and cold. It's good that she's dead. Now hurry up and win over the young master. You're going to be the next Mrs. Knight. Maya's triumphant laugh echoed. You were right all along, Mom. Asking Gareth to look after me was a stroke of genius. It gave me the perfect chance to drug him and get that photo. I was just trying to make Alara give up, but her dying like this, it's a gift from heaven. I'll just wait for him to get over his little heartbreak, then I'll offer myself up. I had always believed that even if my mother favored Maya, she still loved me as a daughter. I was wrong. She felt nothing at my death. My spirit, shattered, drifted to find Gareth. I found him in the bathtub, clutching my photograph. Gone. He had followed me into death. Only then did I truly understand. Gareth's love for me was stronger than life itself. A wild, desperate power surged through me. I focused all of it on Maya as she descended the grand staircase. I tripped her. I watched her body tumble, her life ending with a sickening crack at the bottom of the stairs. Only then did my soul find peace. And now, I was back. Back on the day my fate was decided. But this time, Maya had chosen the Knight estate. She thought that by being close to Gareth, she could win his heart. She was so wrong. Gareth would never love her, and I would make them both pay for what they did to us. The moment my mother and Maya left, my aunt told me to move into the school dorms early, claiming they were renovating my room. My mother worked as a live-in maid for the Knights, so Maya and I had been living with my aunt and uncle. My mother sent them money every month for our expenses. In my first life, when I left with my mother, she increased the payments to ensure they took good care of Maya. Clearly, this time, the payments had stopped. I didn't argue. I packed my few belongings and left. But before heading to school, I had another stop to make. I went to the bank. My father had set up a small savings account for me, depositing a little money on every birthday. Only I knew about it. I withdrew the cash and boarded a long-distance bus to a remote cemetery. A fierce storm was raging. I huddled under a tree in my raincoat, waiting. Just as dusk settled, a 16-year-old Gareth Knight burst through the gates, ignoring the downpour. Several bodyguards trailed behind him. He was soaked to the bone, his sharp eyes cold and intense, but his steps were determined. He stopped in front of a particular gravestone and began frantically clawing at the overgrown grass around it. Young master, the rain is too heavy. It must have been washed away. We can come back and look when the storm passes. Gareth acted acted as if he hadn't heard a word. He searched until he was exhausted, his shoulders slumped in despair. That's when I stepped out from behind the tree. "Excuse me," I called out. "Are you looking for this?" I pulled a necklace from my pocket. Gareth's eyes lit up, and he rushed over. Seeing how drenched he was, I instinctively raised my umbrella to shield him from the rain. His hand trembled as he took the necklace, a wave of relief washing over his tense features. "How did you find this?" In our past life, after we got together, Gareth told me that his greatest regret was losing the necklace he and his mother had made together during the summer he was 16. So I came here, to fix his regret and to meet him. I shrugged, feigning a shiver. "The rainwater must have washed it down here. I just picked it up. When I saw you searching so desperately, I figured it must be yours." "Thank you," he said, his voice stiff. "This necklace is very important to me. What can I give you as a reward?" He was grateful, but his guard was still up, his posture keeping me at a distance. My teeth chattered. Could you buy me a cup of instant noodles? I'm cold and starving." He blinked, surprised, and then a genuine laugh escaped him. "Okay." Half an hour later, at my insistence, Gareth Knight ate his first ever cup of instant noodles. "I never knew this stuff was so good," he admitted. In our past life, it had been his favorite comfort food. After we finished, he asked for my number, insisting he still owed me a proper thank you. I smiled and shook my head. "If we're meant to, we'll see each other again." The moment I turned away, my eyes burned with unshed tears. I wanted so badly to run back, to throw my arms around him and tell him everything, to tell him how much I had missed him, how the thought of him had kept me sane. But he would have thought I was insane. I didn't give him my number because I already knew his every move for the next few years of high school. We would meet again, and he would think it was fate, not a carefully orchestrated plan. The first day of school finally arrived. The coursework was a breeze. I began plotting my second meeting with Gareth. During the fall break, I got a part-time job cleaning the local ice hockey rink. On the third day, Gareth came to practice. I watched him from the shadows, my heart aching with a familiar love. When he was finishing up, I spoke, just loud enough for him to hear. "You need to twist your wrist more on the pass." He spun around. I couldn't see his eyes under the helmet, but I could feel his shock. "It's you. How did you know that was my weakness?" How could I not? He had been the one to tell me years ago. I played dumb. Just a lucky guess. "Have we met before?" He pulled off his helmet and his eyes sparkled with surprised recognition. I widened my eyes in mock astonishment. "Oh, it's you. We had lunch together." "You're underage. How are you working here?" he asked. "Shh," I whispered conspiratorially. "Don't tell the manager." I pretended I was older. "Do you need money that badly?" "My dad died in a car accident," I said, letting the truth of my past life color my tone. "My mom took all the settlement money and left with my sister. If I don't work, how will I survive?" Gareth was quiet for a moment. "Practice with me this afternoon." I hesitated. "But I have to finish cleaning. $500 an hour." "You got it, boss." He laughed again, nearly spitting out his food. After practice, he asked me to dinner. I was about to say yes when I saw Maya lurking outside the rink, watching us. "Maybe next time. I've got to go." We exchanged numbers when he paid me. Back in my dorm, a message from him came through. "Did you get home safe?" A smile tugged at my lips. I simply replied, "Yes." After the break, I started preparing for the regional debate tournament. In my first life, even though Gareth and I knew each other, we moved in different circles. At school, he was in the top class, I was in the lowest. At home, he lived on the top floor, I lived in the basement. We were two parallel lines, never meant to cross. It was the debate tournament that made him truly see me. This time, I was determined to shine even brighter. But when I went to sign up, I discovered my school, Maplewood High, had no intention of participating. Furious, I took my sleeping bag and camped out on the principal's doorstep. He finally relented, agreeing to let me form a team and register, but we would have to cover all the expenses ourselves. Luckily, plenty of students were eager to join. We threw ourselves into preparation, a whirlwind of research and practice sessions. Gareth would text me occasionally. Each time, I'd stop everything, reading his short messages over and over before composing a brief, restrained reply. Just before winter break, I led our underdog team to the finals. Gareth spotted me immediately. "Are you working a part-time job here too?" I flashed my school ID badge. "I'm here for the finals." He glanced at the badge and his eyes widened. "You're the debater from Maplewood High they're all talking about?" "Talking about?" His expression was intense, his gaze burning. "For a school like yours to make it to the finals, it's practically a miracle. Half the audience today came just to see your team captain. You have to introduce me after the match." Just then, one of my teammates ran over. "Captain, our seats are over there. Let's go." Gareth froze, the look in his eyes shifting as he stared at me.